Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I am making my breakfast, which this is something I saw someone post about. Alexa, stop timer. That's for my pizza dough. This is something I saw someone post about on TikTok and I wasn't sure. I'm gonna be honest, I was not sure about it, but I am on day 4 of eating it and I'm obsessed. So what it is it's these Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurts. I do the flavor vanilla and I've never actually eaten Greek yogurt as yogurt. I've only ever used it as like a sour cream substitute. It's actually quite delicious, very, very creamy. And then you add half a cup of Catalina Crunch, which I'd never had before. And I've done like yogurt parfaits in the past with granola, but this was sold to me because it's a really good source of fiber. And right now I'm on a bit of a journey. If I call it a weight loss journey, I get yelled at by people who are also on weight loss journeys who are heavier than I am. But at the same time, like the honest truth is I'm the heaviest I've ever been, including while being pregnant. And everybody's journey, everybody's body is different. Everybody's comfort level is different. And so I do have weight to lose, but I also have like lifestyle changes that needed to be made because I was not taking very good care of my body. I was not being very intentional with my nutrition. I'd gone off the rails hardcore. I'm a big fan of fast food. I just am. It is what it is. I'm also a really big fan of candy. It is what it is. And my weight started to fluctuate on me around the time that I was like 35. And I kind of entered into a realm that I'd never been in before because I'd always been a thin person. And so being someone that then suddenly had to like start paying attention to what I was eating and be more intentional about my fitness was hard for me. And I know that like it's going to invoke some eye rolls, but there are other people I'm certain that are in the same situation that I'm in that like had a really high metabolism their entire life and then all of a sudden had to learn healthy habits that were not ingrained in them because they didn't have to necessarily do them to maintain a certain body type. So anyway, all of that being said, I'm focusing very hardcore right now on protein intake and fiber intake, and Catalina Crunch has all of that. This is the one that I just happened to find. It's cinnamon toast, but I went to Harris Teeter the other day and just decided to go browse that aisle just to see, because again, I'd never used this before. I'd never even heard of it before. There are so many different flavors of this. Granted, you're gonna be spending $7 on a cereal, so you really gotta like think about if it's what you want. But I can already tell you, the next one I'm gonna buy is the dark chocolate one because again, I use the vanilla Greek yogurt, I use the Catalina Crunch, and then I add strawberries to it, which is no unique thing. But as good as this is, I can only imagine how delicious it will be, dark chocolate one. So I'm eager and interested to try that. I cut my strawberries into like microscopic pieces because I want a bite of strawberry with every spoonful. Is anybody else weird about their food like this? I didn't realize it was strange until I got married. I also had a roommate in college that would eat like her entire meal and choreograph it essentially around making sure she got like the perfect last bite, which I really like admired. I loved that. But I know everybody has like their weird things with food. I don't want to say that I'm picky because I'll eat things, but I'm particular. And I think it's okay to be particular about food. I think it's okay to adhere to your own preferences. I'm not really sure where that comes from. And I'm not gonna make apologies for it because I'm the one prepping the food. I just want like little bites and then just scoop her on in. I don't remember the exact specifics on this. Well, I guess I could just do the math. So it's 11 grams of protein per serving for the Catalina Crunch. The Greek yogurt has 12 grams of protein in it. And then obviously the strawberries don't have any protein in it, but strawberries are actually a really good snacking food because they're pretty low calorie. And for me, they add that level of sweetness that I want. But anyway, it's really delicious. It starts my day off with a good amount of protein, a good source of fiber, which again, fiber for me is harder to get in unless I'm eating something that includes those, either the Mission low carb tortillas or the zero carb tortillas. So It's so good. Literally been nose down grinding all morning. So it's actually time to start getting our things ready to leave the house so my kiddo can go to school. And first things up is we're gonna pack his lunch. He eats car lunch on our way to school. Yeah, you have school today. To leave me? That's okay. I come back. Yes, sir. It's wild because he is... I love your singing. So since he started school, he's been obsessed. Basically running in, not hardly looking back, eager to go, wakes up in the morning asking to go, talks about his teachers and how much he loves them, talks about his friends and how much he loves them. And all of a sudden, in like the last 2 weeks, there's a lot of tears at drop off, and there's a lot of, not necessarily that he doesn't want to go. He wants to go. He just wants me to stay. And I'm sure that's all probably very normal. Either way, drop off has been a little bit challenging lately. I don't know if you're interested in this at all, but for lunch, I am peeling an apple.
Peeling apple?
Peeling an apple!
What peeling?
Because I've become the parent I said I never would become. But my child who loves apples all of a sudden does not like the skin of the apple. So you know what? We do what we gotta do. That's super cool, dude.
Yeah.
Look what you're building.
I'm building a circle.
You're building a circle?
Yeah.
Love it. So far we have veggie straws, an apple, peanut butter sandwich, cut into triangles. Had to cut the peel off the apples, but leave crust on sandwich. Because that makes sense. Huh, who knew that cocoa powder was high in fiber? Not me. Okay, for my lunch, I'm probably not gonna eat it for a while because I'm not hungry, and I'm probably gonna have a latte on the way to my son's school, which is a protein latte that I make, which I'll show you in a minute. But I wanna make a, not mini because it's not that little, but it is smaller than your normal, a chicken crunch wrap. So let me get all of that prepared. And what I'm likely gonna do is put this in aluminum foil. I gotta think this through. I think I'm gonna make it here, put it in aluminum foil, and then maybe when I'm over at my mom's working, I'll pop it in the air fryer for a minute or two to kind of like nuke it back up. All right, chicken. I'll do a little bit of taco sauce. About a tablespoon of queso. Listen, it's not gonna kill you. There's still opportunity to eat the things that you like even when you're in a calorie deficit, which I have been in since Easter Sunday, which I don't remember what the date is for that, but I'm down 5 pounds since Easter Sunday. I'm just using that as a benchmark because I didn't actually start until that Monday, but I just remember thinking on Easter Sunday, like I wanted to start moving in that direction. I had a little bit of trouble figuring out my calorie deficit because you kind of find conflicting information all over the place. I wanted to operate in a 500 calorie deficit, which is pretty normal for weight loss. And I was perfectly comfortable doing that, but I wasn't finding it was hard to find solid information about what my maintenance calories were and what my deficit would be. A couple of things to note and how we ended up here. There are a few things. I was on an extended dose of prednisone for a hot minute, which I'm pretty certain led to a majority of the weight that I gained. Prednisone messes with your hormones. It also tends to increase your appetite, which I can say from experience was 1000% true. Huh. That's interesting. The serving size on this changed. But I'm also not in denial about the fact that like I was not being cognizant of what I was eating in the slightest. I will try to link below what I used to figure out my calorie deficit. I have not cut anything out of my diet at all. I still eat ice cream. I still eat candy when I feel like it. I'm just more mindful of like where I am in a day. Right now I'm tracking calories. No, sorry, let me rephrase that. Right now I'm counting calories. I will eventually move away from that because I can get obsessive with it and I don't want to get to that place. And that's with everything that I do. It's not just with eating and counting calories. I have a tendency to kind of like, we've talked about this, go hard when I'm going hard on something. And so basically, initially my intent and purpose with counting calories is to just reacquaint myself with the awareness of, Alexa, stop timer. That's for my pizza dough, which I totally forgot about. I totally forgot about it. My nose was so deep in work and I came over here to start making my son's lunch and I was like, oh no. So we'll see how that goes. But to basically have just some semblance of awareness of the calorie content in certain foods, because it's really easy to, oh, that's not what I need, underestimate what foods have what calorie value. And so I'd gotten pretty good at that. I guess it was like a summer ago maybe. I was vlogging. I just don't know that I was really talking about it, but I talked about the Michaela Thomas stuff. And I'm telling you, if you were trying to lose weight or just, for me, yes, I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm also just trying to get into the best shape of my life because why the heck not? I want to feel proud of the work I've put in, and that's something visual that I can keep myself challenged with, obviously within a healthy range. Mission carb tortilla, my chicken, a little bit of cheese. I have 3 tortilla chips with Greek yogurt on them. Shredded lettuce, baby tortilla. I just stuck it in a preheated pan, and basically I'm just heating it until the folds kind of like stay in place, and then I'll flip it over and heat the top. But I don't know that that's really all that important right now because I'm literally just gonna put it in aluminum foil in my lunchbox. I'd like to point out that it is 12 o'clock exactly, and I just hit 10,000 steps for the day. I just got to my mom's and grabbing the air fryer. She has the TV on and it's blasting. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop my Crunch Wrap in the air fryer and get that. I sat at Panera for a while to work just out at an outside table. And I'm actually not even really all that hungry. I just know if I wait any longer to eat, then I'm gonna get into that like weird territory where I might as well just wait for dinner. And then I had that like momentary, like, I'm too hungry, if that makes sense. So, I'm just gonna pop this in. So, can I stick you here? Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be kind of loud. I hope that's okay. But in reference to like the fitness journey and all of that. So like I mentioned, I've lost 5 pounds since Easter, or like the day after Easter. That's a little more than 2 weeks. And so I'm doing this low and slow, but the things that I'm doing, I'm adhering to a 500 calorie deficit, not cutting off any foods, just being mindful. I will say that I generally stick to Michaela Thomas meals. I can pretty much always count on those being somewhere in the like 250 to 500 calorie range. So there's not a whole lot of thinking involved. Other thing is that they are often already loaded into my MyFitnessPal, so it makes it super easy. I have her Holy Grail cookbook and, oh, I don't remember the name of the other one. I'll link it down below. I don't know where my phone is at the moment, but I have 2 of her cookbooks. I've not yet made a meal by her that either I or my husband didn't eat. There have been some that like maybe aren't our favorites, but we ate all of it. And there are several that are favorites. So I've really been able to, this is why I like doing something like this. If you're gonna do it, you gotta kind of stick to it, right? Like not just now, but indefinitely. And so in order for it to be something that works, it needs to be something that you're gonna be able to maintain. Obviously, I generally stick to like the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the time I'm eating the way I'm supposed to be eating, 20% of the time I'm eating whatever the hell I want to. Right now, sticking a little heavier to the calorie deficit just because I do have goals in mind. But once I get to the goal that I'm looking for, I'll stick more loosely to the 80-20 rule. And that's the thing that I love about Michaela Thomas recipes is that she's not just making them for herself, she's making them for her entire family, and nobody else in her family is on a weight loss journey. So luckily for me, my husband and I both are, so that works out well. Additionally, I know if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you probably saw the I lifted weights for 30 days and here's what happened video. I do wish, looking back, I wish I would have just partnered that with a calorie deficit at that time. I didn't, that wasn't the purpose of that challenge, but it's no longer about hitting a number on the scale. That would be great, but I just want to feel strong and I want to feel confident in what I'm wearing and I want to be lean. I want to have muscle. I have like a vision, right? Like I have a vision in my mind. I have a vision on my vision board, literally. And just all of a sudden I got a wild hair at my ass, probably because of the prednisone and like the changes that I saw in my body because of that. Either way, it just sort of like sparked this motivation, desire, whatever, to head down this path. And I'm really glad for it for a number of reasons. I will share what I'm doing fitness-wise, but first I'm gonna eat and get a little bit more work done before it's time to go pick up my kid, and then I'll share those details with you. Okay, the kid is having a quesadilla, strawberries, and some roasted potatoes because I am not comfortable with him having steak yet. Steak bites, roasted Brussels sprouts, roasted potatoes. Michaela Thomas is the one who taught me that do not fear a potato, which honestly has made such a big difference for how I go about this journey, which has been real nice. It's very possible that the bugs are going to make me very quickly change my mind about being outside because our mosquito treatments have not started yet, and we live in a very beautiful area, but it is also very buggy. But I did want to come back on here. Dinner was fantastic. I do wish that I would have had like the forethought to marinate the meat either from this morning or from yesterday, but even just with like 15 minutes of marinating, it was still so good. We get that steak from Aldi. It's nothing special. I think it's like a top round steak. Like it's not like the most exquisite cut or anything, but it's really inexpensive, offers a lot of food. It's so good. And I'll leave the link to the marinade down below. I don't remember it off the top of my head, and I did not follow like a specific recipe this time. It's just what I remember from this recipe that I've used for years and years. It's actually for pork chops, but I use it on a bunch of other things. I am worn out today. I will tell you that. As we get to the end of the week, the exhaustion just starts to settle in. I will say though that I am feeling just overall better in general since having started on like better eating, better fitness routine. There are a couple of other things that I've added into my routine that I do want to talk to you guys about. And so aside from seeing the changes in my body already, I'm feeling the effects and just how I'm existing in the world. So fitness, what am I doing? Where do I even start? I have a walking pad. I have been walking on the walking pad about 2 miles every day. It's been a long time now. It's been a very long time. And I really wasn't seeing a ton of change in my body necessarily, but I felt good. Like it just did good things for my mental health. It was nice to just kind of get into that routine. I then decided, now that it was like getting lighter a little bit earlier, taking the dog on a walk, because the dog needs to lose some weight, like big time needs to lose weight. And I just feel guilty that we don't spend as much time fawning over him as we did with our first dog. So I was like, you know what, let's start doing outdoor walks. So I do about a 2.5 mile walk with him outside a couple times a week. We live in a very hilly area, so the terrain is varied, which I feel like sore in certain areas when I walk outside, which is great. I also try to keep my pace up. On the days that I don't go on an outside walk, I do Pilates. I just started doing Pilates and it is real hard. Don't let anyone fool you. Don't let the little clips of the video that you saw this morning fool you, because it looks so simple. It is so hard. In fact, if you've been following for a while and you saw the video that I made, it was the beginning of last year, where I had been in the hospital for a back injury and my doctor was like, I hear that you do yoga. Well, you really need to start doing Pilates. And I was like, I don't do Pilates because Pilates is hard. But it feels so good to know that while I'm simultaneously working to like lose the weight, somewhere in the back of my mind, I know it doesn't work like this, but like somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm like, ooh, underneath what I'm trying to lose, I'm like toning up, and I want a Pilates body, okay? I just want a Pilates body. And I'll put that work in if I have to, and I'll do the hard stuff if I have to, because I really want a Pilates body, and I'd be really proud of myself if I end up with a Pilates body. Pilates is a form of body recomp, which is really important. I don't really know the details of why it's important, but it's really important. And I think it's also just really good to just challenge yourself in some ways, or like to take on something that you're not really all that good at or a pro in, and just practice it. Like allow yourself to practice something aside from all of the like physical benefits of doing something like that. It's really good for our minds and just for our person, like our personality and who we are as people, to do something that makes us have to try and fail and practice and learn and get better at. It just in general makes you feel good. Additionally, on the days that I do go on a walk outside, I have started to do planks, which again seems so simple. It seems real simple. It's not. It's hard AF. I am weak AF. Like, your girl struggles. The longest plank I did was 2 minutes, and that was like entire body shaking. Don't know how I managed to stay up. Thought I was gonna die. I can do a minute solid pretty well. I would like to get better at that. But again, it's a form of body recomp. I'm not doing a lot of weight training right now. I probably could incorporate that. I would like to. I know that lifting would be great and a boost for my metabolism, which in general is going to only aid in this situation. But right now I'm working on Pilates and the planks and the walking. Those are my main components. Like those are the habits I've gotten into in the last several weeks, and I'm really enjoying it. They're fun for me. I don't dread doing them at all. They're easy for me to incorporate into my day. On the days that I do Pilates and I don't go on an outside walk, I go on my walking pad to work. I feel like there's got to be some science to all of it. Obviously, walking outdoors, or not even outdoors necessarily, but just like walking where you're propelling your body forward is going to be a different type of workout than walking on a treadmill. I don't really know what the difference is necessarily, but I just feel better when I'm walking outside. It could also just be that I'm outside. So I do still walk on my walking pad, like if I'm not able to be outside for days that I don't want to take the dog out. But I try to get 10,000 plus steps a day. Like right now I'm at 12,000 for the day. And a lot of times a bulk of that, if it's not from the walk in the morning, like especially on my Pilates days, is from me walking on the walking pad while I'm working. And so going real slow, but I'm moving. And if you're wondering, yes, I have a watch, but when I'm working, my hands are obviously not moving. And so I put my watch on my ankle. A couple of other things that I've incorporated into my regimen, routine, whatever, which some of these are to aid in the weight loss. Some of them are to just aid in being like the best version of myself and to be in the best shape of my life. And I mean that physically, but I also mean that mentally, spiritually, relationally, all of the above. So a couple of things that I've incorporated. Number one, I do still drink the Nello drink. I am still drinking green tea every day. I did find, I don't know if I mentioned this in a video already or not. There's one at Target that is, I want to say it's strawberry mango flavored. And then I use a little bit of the blue raspberry Crystal Light. Oh, it's so delicious, especially as we're getting into the summer months. Love it more than I should. I'm sorry if that dog barking is bothering you. It doesn't bother me. I know that there are other outdoor sounds happening, but that's just part of being outside. I did get bit by a bug. Dang it. What else am I doing? Obviously, water intake. Like a buttload of water intake. I don't drink as much water as I used to. I don't know why. It's harder for me these days, but I do try to get about 80 ounces in a day. I would love to get back into the habit of getting a gallon in a day. I just don't find that to be feasible at the moment for my life. I just don't. I'm also not always readily available to a bathroom because I'm in the car so much. And every time I get wherever I'm going, I have to pee so bad, and that's a little tricky with a toddler in tow, because if you're a toddler parent, then you know the struggle of them unlocking the door and running out. Or maybe your child doesn't do that because your child doesn't have ADHD, but he's gotten a lot better, but it is still tricky. I also, what else am I doing? I've been reading every single night. I used to be the person that would fall asleep with the TV on, usually Friends or How I Met Your Mother. Always, like, had to do it, couldn't not do it. And I got one of those silly little devices from TikTok Shop. They sent it to me. It was like one of those like Kindle page turner things. And I was like, well, this is dumb, but kind of cool. And this is a situation of like, give a mouse a cookie, right? I was like, well, if I have one of these, I need to get one of those little like stands. If you've watched Janu Daily, then you've seen this thing. That is a Kindle holder. And I thought that I was gonna like attach it to the nightstand and take it off every single day. It lives there permanently, much to my husband's dismay, because he makes the bed in the morning and he has to like finagle around it. It's actually quite hilarious. But that has made all the difference in the world. I fall asleep with my little remote in my hand every night. I have read, I wanna say 18 books so far this year, which is probably not a lot to some of you who are like avid readers, but y'all, I think I might have read 18 books in the last 5 years. So it's huge for me. I used to be a really avid reader back in the day. I just have not made it much of a priority. Now I have Kindle Unlimited. I have Spotify Premium as well. So I do also listen to audiobooks. Usually those are more memoirs or like self-help type content. So just really paying attention to how I'm spending my time and what I'm consuming. What else am I doing? I feel like there were other things that I've been doing, but those are the only ones that are coming front of mind at the moment. My very naked child is coming to say goodnight, so I will be right back. It is not. Do you want to show off your cup? Show off your cup. I feel like we both just start to kind of like lose our minds a little bit by the end of the week. And by bedtime on a Thursday night, it's pretty well done. Also, I have my retainer in and I am too tired to take it out and put it back in. So I'm just gonna end this video with a lisp. I was gonna end this video earlier, but then Wade came out of the bath and so I was gonna say goodnight to him. Are you still pouting? Okay. Anyway, this furball and I, who again still has a very bad haircut, okay? Gonna read. Oh, I can show you my weird little setup. I use this little remote and I literally fall asleep with this remote in my hand every night. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today. If this content resonated with you at all, or you just feel like we are people that could get along with one another, subscribe, comment, like the video. Let me know if you are on your own weight loss fitness journey, if you just want to get in the best shape of your life, what you're doing. And yeah, I'll see you guys all again very, very soon. Bye.